In every Crosshair's journey, there comes a point when the world's enemies seem less dangerous than the smiles within their own house. Lucien Cross had held his ground against rivals before, but the trial set by his own blood was tightening around him. This was episode 12, the night the storm gathered inside the dynasty. In the candlelit council chamber, the elders listened as a young aide read the latest reports. The Voss alliance had failed to break the northern routes, yet the council saw no reason to call off their covert test. Elder Rowan warned that Lucien held for now, but he could not endure every front. They must press harder. Marcus reminded them of tradition. Heirs were tempered by fire, not shielded, but cautioned that the fire must not consume the house. Helena suggested letting Calder carry the spark a little longer. None noticed the quiet smile crossing Calder's lips at the far end of the chamber, a smile that spoke not of duty, but ambition. Back in Lucien's office, the night city burned silver beyond the tall windows. Adrian dropped a fresh dossier on the desk, grim. Another sabotage, this time targeting the Cross Hail tech subsidiary, not through markets, but through supply lines and smear campaigns. Lucien read it calmly. The attacks were bolder now, leaving paper trails. Adrian didn't bother hiding his suspicion. Calder was behind this. Lucien's reply was measured. If the council was watching, they would see everything. If they wanted a trial, he would give them a demonstration. Adrian half smiled but warned quietly that he hoped the council's definition of trial didn't include burning the empire to the ground. Across the city, Vivian Hale sat in a dimly lit lounge opposite Damien Voss. Between them, a tablet displayed cross-market projections. Damien predicted that a few more weeks of pressure would swing investors their way, giving Vivian leverage to push Lucien out entirely. She asked quietly what happened after the dust settled, whether Damien expected the council to hand him the seat. Damien smirked and replied that opportunity, not expectation, ruled the day. Vivian traced the rim of her glass, eyes distant, wondering if Damien's so-called strength was recklessness in disguise. She said nothing, and Damien mistook her silence for agreement. Near midnight, Lucien met Adrian at the harbor where he had defended cross convoys weeks earlier. The water lay black and still beneath a crescent moon. Adrian worried that the council had allowed the trial to go on too long. Lucien touched the black onyx crescent at his ear and said that tradition demanded the heir stand alone until the trial ended. Running to the council for shelter would make him a claimant, not an heir. Adrian reminded him that standing alone didn't mean standing blind. Calder was working with Voss, and that alliance would not stay hidden forever. Lucien smiled faintly. Let them come into the light. That's where they would burn. At dawn, a whisper moved through the markets. A cross-controlled shipping line was accused of fraud. Regulators froze millions in shipments overnight. The accusations traced back to a web of dummy firms tied to Voss's backers, yet the tip had come from a cross-council informant. Calder poured himself a drink in his study, watching the news feeds with cold satisfaction. Let's see how long the prodigy could keep his throne while his empire bled, he muttered to himself. Vivian Hale stood before her office window, watching the ripple effect of the frozen shipments on stock tickers. This isn't just market play anymore. This is sabotage, she muttered. Her phone buzzed with another call from Damien. She hesitated, then answered. Another step closer, Viv. Don't lose your nerve now, he said. Coldly, she replied, We wanted competition, Damien, not scorched earth. He reminded her that a throne isn't given, it's taken, and she knew that. She ended the call without another word, feeling the hollow unease of satisfaction denied. In the Cross Tower war room, Lucien reviewed data feeds with his legal and logistics teams. He instructed them to open the books to regulators. Transparency, he knew, would crush the fraud charge faster than bribes or threats. While authorities were occupied, he would reroute cargo through the east harbors. The logistics chief warned it would cost a premium. Lucien's reply was firm, less than losing trust. Adrian watched him give orders with quiet respect. The same man the world had once dismissed as a quiet analyst, now steering a fleet through crisis without losing composure. Days later, as the fraud charges crumbled and shipments moved again, the council gathered once more. Helena's faint smile betrayed her approval. The boy did not break easily. Rowan reminded them that he had yet to face the last of the fire. Marcus concluded that if he could endure so much without begging for protection, perhaps he was ready to bear the name Cross. Calder said nothing, hiding his displeasure behind a glass of wine. Trials by fire do not only forge steel, they reveal what is brittle. Lucien's measured defense had turned Calder's plot into another lesson for the council. Yet even as the heir stood firm, the shadows around him grew restless. Vivian Hale began to question the road she had chosen. Calder nursed his anger in silence. Damien Voss prepared his next bolder strike. The black onyx crescent at Lucien's ear glinted beneath the city lights, a reminder that the trial was far from over. For the heir of the cross, every victory seemed only to summon a deeper test.
Thank you for sharing this chapter with us at Velvet Chapters Brew. Comment, like, and subscribe to see where the next page takes us.